I got a phone call from the station that said, hey, we got all these horror movies, and how'd you like to be the host? And this happened all around the country. The films were, Shock Theater was the name of the group of films that somebody put together out in Hollywood. I said, well, okay. I had no idea. And I wore the same black coat that I'd worn on the show, the Cowboy Show, which I had really stolen from the little theater group that I wore as the Undertaker. The guy in charge of scenery building was also the makeup man, and he tried to make me look like Bela Lugosi or something. And that's how come I parted my hair in the middle and did this sloppy job of makeup. It was really outrageous and overdone and so on. But it was part of the character. One time, the table that the guys used to sit behind when they were given the sports results, and they saved all that stuff and they painted it gray and put a handle on it and made it look like a casket. And that's where I kept my wife. We couldn't afford to have an extra character, so it was just a make-believe lady in the box and another make-believe character off stage. And we started introducing these movies. So I used to open up the show with limericks that were sent in by the people. And I'd say, good evening, this is Roland here, and this is sent to me by some of them in Roxburgh, Pennsylvania, or maybe Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I would recite this thing. Dinner was served for three at Dracula's house by the sea. The hors d'oeuvres were fine, but I choked on my wine when I found that the main course was me. So next thing you knew, I was in New York City doing it. And they had showed the films here for a year, shown them here for a year before I was the host. And it didn't seem to matter. Got a whole new audience. And I kept up doing all these crazy experiments. I had a big amoeba. Did you ever see the big amoeba? Wow. And we would operate on it and do all kinds of, try to mate to amoeba. And that was all.
Greetings, cool ghouls out there in YouTube land. This is your boy Toddy Walnuts, coming back with another spooky Halloween video. This is going to be kind of a short video, and this is more or less to make you aware of some really, really cool items I discovered on the internet lately. And they have to do with the horror host, the cool ghoul himself, Zacherle, John Zacherle, who was also Roland. And I picked up some DVDs that I think you guys might be interested in. I'm also going to share a link of the guy who makes these DVDs. These are really cool. And I figured I'd kind of fill the video out with a couple of Zacherle records that I have had for a few years now. So if you're interested in hearing more about Zacherle, the cool ghoul, and where to find these great gems, please stick around, get yourselves relaxed, get a beverage and a snack. The girls are here. I can tell Heidi does not want to be here. She jumped down twice during the intro and I had to stop it and get her back here. She does not want to be up here. Okay, Heidi, you can go in the other room. You want to go in the other room? You can go. Go ahead. You can go if you want to, but you're not going to hear about Zacherle. All right, let's check these out.
Good morning, Zacherle here. Well, so you survived Friday the 13th, eh? So you're not superstitious, eh? Huh? Walk on the ladders, black cats, kick them, you know, bother about those cats. Oh, listen here. Did you know that the English people used to have 13 steps on the gallows whenever they executed somebody? Used to invite everybody to come and see it too. That was great fun. Of course, our flag has 13 stripes, you know, our flag. I'm a member here of the United States of America, as well as having come from Transylvania. Zacherle's the name here, of course. And we're here for this strange hour of the strip. Well, that's all right. Listen, if you happen to be living on the 13th floor or staying alone in a hotel with room number 913, look out. I know it was yesterday, but just the same, look out. Some buildings don't even have a 13th floor, you know. Those of you watching in Long Island. Long Island. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I love Long Island. I love it. Should be aware that channel 67, when you add it together, you know, 6 and 7, 13. Can you figure that out? Well, the next hour we'll visit some old friends here, some of the dearly departed, I should say. This is a show that just reeks with bad taste, so we're going to dig into the cemeteries for all the old rock and roll stars who are no longer willing with us. Hey? Well, tonight's the night, so join me during the 13th hour on Friday the 13th, right here on U68. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Clap hands. That's enough. Come on, good.
So I thought this would be a fun little topic to talk about around the Halloween season. As I'm recording this, it's the 28th of October, so we only have a couple days left until the big day. So many of you probably know who Zacherle is. Maybe some of you don't, but he was a horror host going all the way back to the 1950s. I believe he was from Philadelphia, and I got some pretty cool things here. Some things that don't really have official releases, and these are fan-made editions, but they're done really well. I'm actually going to share a couple of clips in here, and I'll show you what the quality looks like from my TV. I did take some footage of it already, and I watched it back on my phone, and it looks really good. The sound is bad, and you got to keep in mind that I'm recording from my phone on a TV screen. So the sound actually is good. It's just the janky system that I have of recording is not the greatest for that kind of aspect. So, you know, you do get, it looks like a throwback. You know, these are from, a lot of these were from the 80s. I remember Zacherle from around the mid 80s. And I think the first thing that I saw him in, he was a host of a lot of different things other than horror movies. He did music videos that had to do with horror themes or soundtracks from horror movies. And I remember he did one from Fright Night, but I remember he did one from Ghostbusters too, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I talked to the guy who made these. I didn't get a chance to watch all of these yet. He said the Ghostbusters clip is in here. So I believe it was in Collection 1, which we'll talk about now. So this is Zacherle Collection Volume 1. It's a 2 DVD set. It's a fake autograph. These are really well done. And he has a bunch of these on his website, on eBay, and I'll share his link. And I shot him an offer, and he accepted it. He's a pretty cool guy, and he's pretty fair, you know. So he has these listed at a certain price. I sent him a message through eBay, and I said, hey, man, if I buy, these are the ones that I really wanted that he had. There's even more that he has that I really want, but I didn't want to go too crazy. I shot him a number for these. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total with this one. I shot him a number. He came right back and said, yeah, that's a deal. Let's do it. I paid him, and 3 days later, these were sitting in my mailbox. So I'm really happy with these. I'm looking forward to digging into the many hours of entertainment from John Zacherle. And so this first one here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. You can see the cool Ghoul in rare TV appearances, specials, and videos. Zacherle hosts the 13th hour on channel U68 with horror-themed music videos. I also remember seeing Zacherle, I think it was the late 80s, maybe even early 90s. He was on MTV quite a bit, and he was pretty popular back then, but he had been doing this for probably, well, since the 50s. So he was already doing this for 30 plus years before he really started to kind of get a you know, household name, I guess. And still, a lot of people don't. I think it's more of an East Coast, and I got one of the discs in my player right now. I'd be curious to hear if anybody worldwide has heard about Zacherle, or if anybody toward the West Coast. I know this was kind of a regional thing, like on the East Coast to the Midwest. I'd like to hear from people, you know, like on the West Coast, if they knew about Zacherle or not. I'm sure they did by the 80s and 90s, but, and this is what the discs look like. They're purple because they are burned. They're fan made, but these are really, really nice. I'm really, really glad to have these. And I think they were affordable. And the guy who captured all of this goodness for, it's like Hollywood and horror history saved, because I don't think many people would have seen a lot of this stuff if he didn't release this on DVD. So I'm going to pause it here. We'll go into the next one, and make sure you do check that link if you're interested in any of these. The next one is called Zacherle Collection Volume 2. Now, the thing about Zacherle is he had the makeup and the wardrobe, and they had a very low budget for the set pieces that they had for his show. The running gag was they were going to give him a wife in this show, but they couldn't afford to pay another actress or, you know, another person on the set. So they just had a wooden coffin, and he would talk to the wooden coffin like there was somebody laying in it, and he would interact with his wife. And that's just what I think he just called her the wife. I don't think they had a name for her. I can't remember that part, but you can see here in this one, disc 1, Zacherle celebrates Halloween on the morning, or on AM New York Channel 7 with Dan Daniel from 1972. Goes to the Mike Douglas Show, Tom Snyder, the Dive in New York, 1985, signs autographs in Central Park. This is a treasure trove of greatness right here. This is really, really cool. I'm glad to have this. That's volume 2. And throughout this video, I'm not sure where, I'm going to sprinkle in some things. I'll put in an introduction about Zacherle, and you can hear him talk. I'll share a clip of what this looks like on my TV. That will be the segment of the 13th hour. And you'll be able to tell that again. I think the volume is a little bit lower. I apologize about that. And I will share a clip that I thought was pretty hilarious. That when I was watching this earlier, disc 1 on volume 1, there was something that happened, and it cracked me up. So I wanted to share that with you guys too. So this is also a 2 DVD set, collection volume 2. This one is collection volume 3. And even the artwork on these are really, really nice. I think he was asking $25 a piece on these, I think. But I shot him an offer, so if you want to go over there, don't be afraid, or don't hesitate to reach out to him. You know, I mean, if your offer's low, I'm sure he'll come back and say, no, I don't want to do that, but why don't we, I don't get anything out of this. I don't know him personally, but he was very kind to me, and I've been communicating with him since, because I'm going to buy some more stuff from him, because I really like the quality here. This one says Zach's back. See the cool Ghoul and rare TV appearances, specials, and videos. Zacherle makes appearances on Candid Camera, 1960, the Pat Boone Chevy Showdown, the Dick Clark Beach Nut Show, all of this stuff. It's just, this is just, I mean, it's priceless. You would not find this stuff anywhere else. I know that there's a lot of stuff on YouTube about Zacherle, and I have watched some of that stuff over the last couple of years. But to have this all in one physical collection for yourself, I think this is really, really cool. I encourage you guys, and like I said, I don't get anything out of it. He doesn't even know that I have a YouTube channel or anything like that. So you don't have to go over there and say that you heard it from me or anything. Just go over there and conduct your business and be polite to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to get some of these goodies too for a good price. So that's a total of 6 DVDs and hours of entertainment just from these 3 sets, but I still have more to show you guys. Then this one was kind of the crown jewel, and this was the one I was really looking forward to the most. And when I found this on the seller's page and I saw that he had all this other extra stuff, I filled my basket, and I filled my pants, and I filled my shelf with Zacherle stuff. So this is a 3-hour DVD called the Zacherle Archives, and these are clips from his shows in the 50s. That's why they're called the Archives. So you get classic footage from Zach's 50s TV shows in black and white from 1958 and 1959. 3 hours worth of stuff that you would probably never find anywhere else. Now, I haven't put this one in, so I don't know how good the quality is on this one. But if it's anything like these, it's more than good enough. I have a feeling this guy had something to do with production at one point. I think he may have some of the original camera negatives or something. I don't know, but I have a feeling that he knows a little bit more than he's saying. I think he had something to do with the production of the show at some point. Maybe not all the way back in the 50s, but that's just a guess on my part. But so these are the 4 Zacherle. Again, check these out. I do have 2 other things I want to show you that are not Zacherle related, and then we'll get into these records really quick. And this will just be a quick video. I wanted to share these with you guys. And yes, Heidi did leave. Just me and my big girl here, Hanny. So he also had a couple of DVDs that were really intriguing to me, and I couldn't pass these up. And we'll talk about this one first. This is called the Horror Hall of Fame, hosted by Vincent Price. 1974, February 20th, 1974. It's 66 minutes. Just look at this. Again, it's another timepiece. It's priceless. Vincent Price and his hunchback sidekick host a pun-filled salute to the horror genre for the earliest beginnings all the way to The Exorcist. You got to remember this was 74, so featuring clips from classic horror films and interviews with genre greats like John Carradine, who was right there, great actor, great family, John Astin, Frank Gorshin, special effects legend William Tuttle, and many others. 66 minutes of running time to have in your collection. This may be on YouTube, I don't know, but I want this in my collection, and this is amazing. I can't wait to get into this. And then the other one, the last one that I got from this guy. This was a 3 DVD set. So he was selling these as single editions. So you can get, this is 1990, 91, and 92 in one set. Or you can get them separately, 1990 on one disc, 1991 on one disc, and 1992 on one disc. And they each come in their own case. Now there's 3 discs in here, but this is one set. What I'm trying to say is you can get these in 3 separate sets. The Horror Hall of Fame, all 3 TV specials. These were from the 90s, I think. There you can see a young Robert Englund and Elvira Cassandra Peterson. You can see Jason Voorhees. I can't tell who that is. That Doogie Howser? I'm not sure. And the Crypt Keeper and Chucky. The Horror Hall of Fame, an Oscars-style award show hosted by Robert Englund. The Horror Hall of Fame honored the best horror films, television series, actors, producers, special effects designers in the industry. So you get all 3 years of this. I don't know how long they did it. It sounds like they only did it for these 3 years, but this would be something really cool if they did it like even every 5 years or something like that. I'm really, really looking forward to getting into this. I don't remember watching these on TV, but it says they were all 3 TV specials. If any of you remember, I'd be curious to hear that. So we'll do a quick recap, and then I'll show you a couple of records for Zacherle, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so again, we have the Zacherle archives, 3 hours of his shows from the 1950s. That's got to be great. And then we have the Zacherle collection. It's a 2-disc set, Volume 1, 2-disc set, Volume 2, and 2-disc set, Volume 3. And then these I'm really interested in as well. The Horror Hall of Fame from 1990, 91, and 92. The Horror Hall of Fame from 1974. So I have a couple of records here, and this one is an original. This is called Monster Mash. And another thing that Zacherle was good for was some funny kind of horror jingles. He had a lot of songs that he would sing and write with a horror theme. He had one called Dinner with Drac, was probably one of his most popular ones. But he had a lot of really good stuff. And you can see here that he's got Hurry Burry Baby, Weird Watusi, Gravy with some cyanide, the Pistol Stomp, the Ha Ha Ha, Let's Twist Again, Mummy Time Is Here, the Bat Monster Mash, Dinner with Drac, and Popeye the Gravedigger. This was the original from, I think this was from the 60s. It even has that 60s record smell to it. It has a bit of an interview here. I'm not going to read it, but I will kind of slowly pan down if you'd like to read that, and you can kind of get an idea of his sense of humor, I guess. He's pretty funny. He had a lot of really corny jokes, but they were funny. So there you go. You can pause that. And then again, here's the track listing if you want to see the times that they run. These are fun records. They're very inexpensive. This one is. These two are both inexpensive. You could probably get both of these for about 30 bucks a piece. The one that's really expensive that I'll probably never own unless I can find it somewhere cheap, it's called Scary Tales, and I think that goes about $125 for just kind of like medium condition. And you got to remember, condition is everything with collectibles, and the more beat up it is, the cheaper it's going to be. But if it's in mint condition, or if it's even still sealed, it's going to be really expensive. But these were like 30 bucks. Even this one going back, I believe this was from the 60s. I could be wrong about that, though. I looked on the back. I couldn't find a year. It's either the 60s or the 70s, I would guess. No, I'm not sure, because now I'm thinking maybe it's even the 50s. I don't know. This one was released just a few years ago, I think. Or this may be a reissue. I picked this up only like a couple years ago, brand new, and it was limited to 500 copies. It was a clear with pumpkin splatter vinyl. I'll pull that out so you can see what that looks like. But yeah, that's awesome. We'll take a look here at the back. Cover design by William Harvey. Cover art was by Jack Davis. I should have known that. I think somebody else pointed that out last time. I showed this a few years ago, and somebody said it was cover art by Jack Davis, and I totally forgot until just now. But there you can see that there, Jack Davis. And you can see the track listing here, Coolest Little Monster, A Wicked Thought. So this must be a reissue then. Ghoul, View Commercial, Sure Sign of Spring, Transylvania PTA, Frank and Drac Are Back, Come With Me to Transylvania, Spider-Man Lullaby, Ring-a-Ding, Orangutan, Bang at the Moon, and Zacherle for President. Let me pause it really quick and I'll show you what the record looks like. So there is the clear pumpkin splatter. It looks really good. That's really nice. So that will do it for this video. Do you like Zacherle? Should we go watch some at Horror Hall of Fame? I think so. That's what we're going to watch tonight. We'll go pop some popcorn, kick our feet up, and we're going to watch the 1974 Horror Hall of Fame. That sounds like a great time. The 4 Zacherle DVDs, the 2 Hall of Fame DVDs. Please check that link below if you're interested. Again, I get nothing out of it, so don't worry about that. And the 2 Zacherle records. If there's anything that you guys recommend for the collection, let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Happy Halloween. And we'll see you later.
She loves a little red meat, you know, occasionally. I can't fulfill every need she has, of course, you know, you understand that. Well, he's I go crazy with these cobwebs!